Welcome to Soul Conversations with Z, Healing in the Raw, where we keep it raw, real, and unfiltered. I'm Zachyra Rodriguez, a trauma specialist and marriage psychotherapist, and this is a space where we dive deep into the messy, yet beautiful and often difficult parts of life. Here we challenge ourselves to face our fears and dig deeper into self-discovery. I'm no newbie. I've navigated many rocky roads and consider myself a recovered traumaholic. Life hasn't been easy, but I truly believe that everything happens for a cause greater than ourselves. Whether you're navigating with grief or grappling with trauma, healing from attachment injuries, or working on your marriage, we're here to unpack it all. No sugarcoating, just honest conversations about the struggles we face and the growth that comes from them. You matter, you are loved, even before your existence, and you're created to do great things. So grab a seat, my friend, take a long, deep breath, and let's get real together. So let's begin. All right, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here today.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, so we have some visitors today. We have a lot of visitors today, actually. So we are actually on this podcast, and I'm so excited to have you guys, and it's called Soul Conversations with Z, right? It's like the real, the raw, and the mess, and we're going to be talking about marriages and the messes and all the different things that we go through in marriages. So I'm Zachyra Rodriguez, and I am going to be your host for today, and I am being accompanied by my husband, who I call Poppy. So if you do hear me calling him Poppy from time to time, this is the reason why. I didn't just find this guy off the street. So this is Poppy, and I have our two friends also with us, and this is Milton, and also his beautiful wife, Kim.
Hello.
Yeah, so why don't you guys tell us a little bit about, yourselves, how long you've been married, so we could just get to know you.
Well, we met in high school. My senior year,
Okay.
her junior year,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw her in the hallway.
Oh.
I was actually doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that about you.
I was cutting class.
Okay.
And,
That's awesome.
roaming the halls, and I saw her from a distance.
So you like the bad boys.
And I wasn't even bad. I was just bored.
Okay.
And I saw her from a distance. Couldn't talk to her. And my best friend at the time, I had told him about her, and he was like the pretty boy. So he knew all the girls and stuff in the school. Knew everybody.
He was like the Papi Chulo.
Yeah, he was like my man right here.
Okay.
And so, we was trying to figure out who she was and asking, and we ended up going on a Black History school trip, Black History Month. And I wasn't even part of the club, and somehow I was able to get on to this trip.
Okay, so they let you in. Okay.
And I was like, dang, there she is. That's her right there.
So you saw, like, from the moment you saw her, you were just like, oh, she just looks good?
Yeah,
or like,
she was very attractive. I just thought she was very attractive.
What did you like about her?
It was just her, like her whole
her
presence.
Okay.
And so I found out who she was, and then somebody had given her my number and said, this guy wants to talk to you. So her being her, she waited a while. Yeah, you did.
You sure?
Yeah, because they gave you the number. They didn't give you your number.
So you called him?
I don't believe so. You called me.
Well, one way or another.
Somebody called somebody.
One of us called.
Because we're sitting here today,
Yeah,
so somebody called.
Yeah, somebody
It was a
called.
long time ago.
Okay.
I'll back you up.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And it was like, and I think the first night we talked all night. We just talked like all night, and we became like real cool, right? And kind of start, I guess you call it dating at that time. And then she went on a prom with me, and then I left to go to the military.
Okay.
And the best thing that probably ever happened for us was she dumped me.
Okay. Okay, so this is getting real good.
You said you wanted to be raw.
Listen, I want it raw and real, and I love it. So just keep it coming.
And it was the best thing.
Okay.
And I say that because we wouldn't be where we're at today because
Okay.
she would have hated me.
Okay.
and being in the military.
Okay.
And-
So she dumped you because you were in the military.
No, I think she dumped me for somebody else.
Oh,
But-
okay. It's getting more hot in here. We need to like raise that AC right now. Okay.
And so, you know, we kept in touch because her brother married my sister.
Okay.
Oh.
And so she was always over my mom's house with all my sisters,
Okay.
my 3 sisters. So she was always with them. So I was kind of kept tabs on her through that.
Wow.
And fast forward, I got out of the military, and then I was living in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
She was still was you at Drexel then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had. Yes.
She was in college. She was finishing up college in Drexel. And I had came home, and we hung out, and I was like, look, I'm moving back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to, get back and start talking again or whatever? She was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And still came back. And a couple months later, I proposed to her.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So let me just ask you this: like, was there something specific? Like, when did you know that it was time? Like, okay,
To
this is
propose?
the one. Yes.
Honestly, I knew she was the one when I was in the military. She was who I was going to marry. Right? She was just different. She was
Yeah.
just different than everybody I was meeting
Yes.
and had met.
Okay.
Just something about her personality, her class.
Okay.
And she's the type of person that I can take to the ghetto, and I can also take her to the White House.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You know.
So she's adaptable.
Yes.
Wow. And that's so important
Yes.
in marriages. So for us, we met 34 years ago? 34 years ago.
34 years.
Yeah.
34 years.
So do you want to tell them a little bit about how we met?
Sure.
That big smile.
We got
Like,
it.
yeah, it's my turn now. Talk to me, baby.
I remember that it was with a friend of mine, and we always used to be together. And she used to live in Florida. And when she came, my friend said to me, hey, my girlfriend's cousin, she came, she's from Panama. Hey, she looks nice. So I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. Let's go. So when I got there, it was probably like 11 o'clock, 11:30. Now, New York is the, city don't sleep. So when I got there, I guess Francis's cousin, right? His girlfriend, she came out and she was all over, like on top of you, I think. And you came out. But the thing is that when she came out, she has the royals in her head, and she had the little knight that I liked. That was the one that had the Mickey Mouse.
My Mickey Mouse PJs, my Minnie Mouse PJs.
So now when she comes, she just showed her face up like that. She said, good night, nice meeting you. And she left. I'm like, what?
So let me explain this. Let me explain the reason why I did what I did. So I'm a girl from my house. I'm not used to men coming at no house at 11 p.m. at night to come introduce themselves, right? So he was supposed to come earlier and he didn't get there because it's the city that never sleeps. So he got there at 11 something at night. So my cousin comes in and she's like, Sashi, wake up, he's here. And I'm like, who's here? And she's like, Tony. I was like, uh-huh. And she's like, go get ready. And she leaves. I was like, this woman has got to be crazy. Why am I gonna go change? So I went out in my little Minnie Mouse green PJs with my rollers, and I said, hello, Sashida. He said his name, and I left. So he was very upset, but that was how we actually initially met. And life is just so interesting because afterwards, like, we became friends and everything else. But for me, that was just like so inappropriate for someone to come at 11 o'clock at night to talk about, like, we're gonna sit down and have a conversation. And I was like, a conversation? But like you were explaining, Milton, like with us also, then afterwards when we did get to know each other, we spoke a lot on the phone. And I know nowadays we don't really speak on the phone, right? But we spoke on the phone for many hours, and we were just friends at the beginning. So I guess I want to ask you this, Kim, like, was marriage what you expected it to be?
the only thing that I knew from marriage is what I saw from my parents, and that wasn't necessarily the best marriage. They ended up getting divorced, so. When that happened, I was kind of very taken aback, and I said I was never getting married.
Really?
I did.
Wow.
But again, because he kind of not wore me down in a sense, but because we were friends at that point,
Yeah.
and I was always able to talk to him. I knew how he felt with his mom. I knew how he, loved his mom, and I didn't think that he would ever treat me poorly because I knew how he felt about his mother. Like you could tell, how he respected his mom, and that I thought that anyone, because that was one thing. Like my mom and dad, they didn't necessarily work out in terms of their marriage, but I know how my dad was with his mother, and and I knew that from that angle, I figured, I could trust him. And
So there was something about
I had a conversation with
that
God,
you
and I
felt-
said, I said I was never getting married, and is this? So you have to show me.
And how many years did you say that you've been married now?
So we've been in December. It'll be 30 years that we've been married.
Wow.
We've known each other since 1988. How many years is that?
Since 1980. Wow.
1988. I'm sorry.
88,
Yeah,
okay.
1988.
All right. So let's switch gears a little bit, and let's just talk a little bit about like stats and when I was doing research for this specific podcast, it was saying that divorce rates that they are actually going down.
Okay.
Yes, but think about that for a second. It's going down, but there's a reason why it's declining.
Are people getting married?
There you go. Yeah. So people nowadays they're not thinking about getting married. It's more about living together, cohabitating, and pretty much that's like what's happening, today. So talk to me a little bit about, what are your thoughts about that?
I don't think that people respect marriage anymore. Like you said, like they're just cohabitating. They're what's going to make them feel good for the moment kind of thing, and not necessarily long-term relationships.
Yeah.
Anything that I think that,
No, I just need his phone because you might have it. Yeah, go.
okay, I'm sorry. Anything I think that the devil plans and to destroy God's plan, he uses it to manipulate people. And first it was to the point of let's just live together and see if we work out before we get married. And then he found out that divorce rate was still just as high as the other scenarios. So now it's more or less, the divorce rate's so high, why should we get married? But we realize that covenant that we make with God, is just, it's a bond, and to say that we're going to be married and stay together, is a challenge, but is a fulfilling challenge.
Yeah. And it is difficult, right? Because in all marriages, we go through like different, seasons. And I guess I want to ask you guys, like, what has been one of, like the toughest things that you have gone through in your own marriage? Remember, this is raw and real, so we want to just be honest.
Like I said earlier, her brother and my sister were married, and they had 2 daughters. And so the oldest daughter got killed. And in 2003, she was 16 years old. She had got shot, and she passed. And she passed away. And with both of our families seeming, the way that the families were and the structure was, we really took it hard. And so it was like, it's not like our niece, it's like our daughter. So our daughter, then we're like 4.
She was getting her to turn 5 years.
And so that was like her big sister. And Latrice was my oldest, for me, our oldest niece. So she was like my daughter, and I went into like a shell. Like I really was angry, didn't even realize it,
Okay.
and it brought a lot of stress and, tension, I think, with us for just.
Were you able to share that moment with her though? Like, were you able to say, this is what I'm going through? You weren't able to do that.
I wasn't, because I wasn't equipped to know what even I was going through.
Oh, okay.
It was
That's
more,
important, what you're saying right now. So you weren't equipped.
it was more or less in the mindset of trust God and move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And our, the church that we belonged to was like family to us too. So it was more or less, nobody really knew how to really, that we all were
Process that.
dealing with
Yes.
it, and so it brought a lot of stress and tension to us. And thank God that, and I know for me, thank God that my daughter and our other two nieces at that time kind of made us process things and say we have to live
For them.
so
Yeah.
that they can live.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not their fault. They shouldn't suffer
Yeah.
any more than what they already have
Yeah.
by us struggling with what we were doing, what we was going through. So we was, kind of bickering at each other, for little stuff, and just made it kind of difficult. Was I didn't realize, now I look back on it, she was grieving as well as I was grieving,
Yeah.
and I couldn't say I should be grieving more because it's my niece, and you should be, because you know what I mean. And I'm thinking I'm being supportive, and I think she thought she was being supportive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was just, and then it just got to the point where God just really showed me and showed me myself. And it was years later that, you were depressed.
Yeah.
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 And it was just like, wow, and
Did you realize also that he was, going through that transition of depression, or was it hard for you because you were also grieving?
Yeah, I think it was pretty much hard for me because I was, and you just, like you said, like we just tried to go on. Like we knew that we had to
Just
keep going because we had other kids that we needed to. I think it was more so a concern about how the other kids were handling it and how they were processing it, not necessarily how we as the adults were processing it. Like that wasn't a focus.
It was more the focus
more
on
of, are the kids okay? Like how are they dealing with this?
Yeah.
And that they weren't being stunted or anything like that by what had happened.
And normally when, families face those type of tragedies, it is difficult, right? Because you're trying to process through the grief yourself, and then you're trying to also, I guess, be that support, right? And in spouses, we could definitely sense, the tension, and we've shared, with each other, with you guys, in terms of our own personal, walk with grief. And I don't know, do you want to share a little bit about how that was for us during that time? Because that was for us, that was one of the most challenging moments that we've had, losing our son and then having to continue to do life and being in ministry and everything else. So I don't know if you want to share a little bit about
I'll
that.
share a little part. I mean, because everybody be different. And sometimes you be by yourself. And you don't want to, when you're in front of family, you just behave like nothing happened. Because you don't want to cry or you don't want to feel down in front of the family because you want to show that you're the strong one. But it is different because it was years. I can say 3 years that I really didn't cry like the way I did after 3 years. Yes, it happened to me just the time when we was going and at the beginning when it happened. But after that I stopped, and probably after 3 years, that's when I actually broke down.
And that was hard. That was a hard season in our lives because we were very separated and very, very separated. So it was more, he was doing his thing, I was doing our thing. And then the kids also were trying to figure out, our daughter, she had just left for college. our son Mickey, our youngest, he had just graduated from high school. So that was tough for him because the moment that he was supposed to be just so in his prime, you know, he ended up just thinking about it, you know. And it was hard because we could not be the parents for him. And for us as a couple, that just kind of separated. That I think that was the very first time in my life that I said, that's it, I can't do this anymore. Because it was very, very hard to have to still be a mom, still be a wife, still do all the different, have all these different roles and not knowing, kind of like what you were saying, how do I continue to do life without having my oldest son here? And there was no one really, you know, to actually like help us through that process. And we did have maybe like one of our pastors that he was able to help us out a little bit, but it was a very difficult season in our lives. And if it wasn't for our church community, we would not be here today, because there was a mentor at our church, and she, thank God, like she's just such a blessing in our lives, and she was able to minister to us, to talk to us, and everything else. But that's the reason why when we talk about marriages and child loss, that's also something else. And definitely we'll have maybe like an episode where we can, you know, debrief that a little bit more. But it was really, really a difficult, you know, season. And then how do you repair after something so tragic like that goes through, you know, your household, right? And I would say that it felt like someone walking in and taking our home and like shaking it upside down and saying, okay, now you guys fix it, right? But how do you really repair? So for you guys, like, what did you find helpful, you know, to repair that relationship?
I think basically just really leaning on the Lord, like both of us having you know, a strong faith, and that's the only way that we could get through, you know, those rough periods.
Did you ever question it though? Did you ever question like your faith at that point?
Not my faith.
Yeah.
Maybe each other. Like, well,
what you doing here?
Times,
like
times it's
this
like,
guy.
well, if I don't make you happy, like, you know,
out. There's the door.
we, you know, there's no need to be miserable. Misery loves company, but there's no need to be miserable. We don't need that.
So what made you not walk away?
Again, the Lord, just, you know, leaning on my commitment to the vows that I made, and, you know, asking the Lord to help us.
Milton's over here smiling. He's like, yeah.
To help us.
I honestly never processed or thought about walking away.
Yeah.
You know?
So that was never an option for you.
Because I knew, I've always, one of my things that I've always, when I got married, was I've always knew somebody was looking at me. I'm the oldest cousin. My sister's old. I'm the oldest male cousin in my family. We really never had any, I guess, really positive male role models, especially family-wise.
Yes.
Right? And I knew I knew my cousins, younger cousins, were looking at me. And now, even today, this far later, they're saying to me, thank you.
Wow.
You know, that, you know, you showed us that it is possible.
Okay.
You know, and
that marriage is possible.
That marriage is possible, and really just being a positive figure. Always with my wife. They never see me with another woman. You know what I mean? They don't, you know, and it's like, you know, and our daughter, for her to come up seeing a strong home, you know, where no, it is like, we never really argued in front of her, or really argued, but come to find out, we realized she was listening to a lot of stuff from her room.
And we think, right, that our kids don't hear those things,
they feel
right?
it, and they hear it, and
they can feel that tension.
And they can feel it.
Yes.
And so we really made a commitment that, you know, we're going to just press forward and respect each other. Yeah. You know,
that's huge.
And love on each other, you know, and really see how, if we separated, what will it do to the whole community?
Yeah.
And just as a
Yeah, that's
clarification,
huge.
that was never an option for me either. It was just
Right.
like there has always, not always, there has of course been times where you're like, you know, because you go through seasons. You go through dry seasons, you go through seasons where it's like, oh my gosh, like what in the world is going on? Like, am I not making you happy? Like you never seem happy. But
Right.
it's just
You're
again,
miserable. So
right,
why
exactly.
keep this going?
right. But
Yeah.
it was not an option to like I never saw a point where we felt like we were at an impasse or that we felt like you know, we didn't love each other or that there was this, you know, irreconcilable differences type
Right,
of thing.
right,
No, it's
yeah.
never been like
Mhm.
that. Thank God.
Yeah. And for you, puppy, like, why didn't you walk away?
Well, I didn't walk away because, I mean, to me, I just look back and I see, like I always said, God, wife, children, because
Yeah.
God just lent them to us. And then they have to go one day. And after they go, then you're there. And then I can't say, okay, now you second now. No. God, wife, children,
And I
then
struggled with
express.
that. As a mom, to be honest with you, in all true
Yeah.
transparency,
Oh yeah.
I think moms struggle a little bit with that order. I could definitely say that I struggle with that order because when he would say that, I would get so mad at him. Because he would say like, you come first, and I was in my mind, I'm like, no, my kids come first. Yeah, so I struggled with
We
that
just recently,
a lot.
several years ago, really
The order.
came to grips with that
Yes.
order because even with that, knowing that in the mindset, it's still, our mindset was always our daughter.
Yeah,
And I
it's like
think
the
it's
focus
because-
is like that.
When they're younger,
Yeah.
you're all they know and they depend on you. Like,
Yes.
you can take care of yourself. I have to take care of her. Like
Yeah.
she's my part. I'm making sure that she's
Mhm.
okay, before, but
I think the behavior
as
is
we-
different, right? Like as far as like they need the attention at that moment, so all your focus is on the kids. So it's hard sometimes to really grasp that idea that at the end of the day, it still has to be that order. And it's hard, right? Because sometimes like even as females, right, we're quick to be like, no, don't talk to the child like that, or don't say that, and why'd you speak to them? And just going back to what we were just talking about as far as like the walking away piece, I think that was the time that for me, it was, I think it's time to call it quits, and to get to the point that I was literally verbally saying it, that was like really, really difficult. But in my heart, I felt that I still love him, but we were just not getting along. And there was, it was like we were fighting against grief. Something invisible that we're not even able to, it's not even tangible. So we're fighting against grief. And all I could say is I thank God that we had such a strong community, because even through that time, even with my own faith, I didn't lose my faith, but I was very, very hurt, with God, to the point that I didn't want to pray or anything. So it was really, difficult during those times, but, we're still here and we're still.
Did he know that you was at that
Oh yeah.
verbal point?
Yeah, I'm passionate. So I think I shared that with you guys. I'm Panamanian, so, I'm very passionate, with my words sometimes. So I have to be reminded at times that my voice may elevate to a certain, tone. I just speak loud, but yes, so he did know, and we did have the conversations, and many conversations, and we're still working through it in all transparency, through therapy, through really like reconnecting and everything else, but there has never been the loss of love. It's just how do we fight grief. And how do we repair now that we are in this battle? And it should have been together, but we felt that we were fighting against each other. It's interesting, right? Because as a therapist,
Yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
it's hard even as a therapist, and I don't want to get sidetracked, but even as a therapist, it's hard for you to find someone that's good, because you know already about therapy. So it was hard to find the right therapist, but we did have to, that was pretty much that, lots and lots of prayer and coming back to the table and having those conversations again, you know, but yeah, that's pretty much what was where we were at. I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say, if it wasn't for her, probably we wouldn't be together. Because basically she was the one who actually came and she behaved more like, hey, you know what? No, we can, and then it bring me up. If she wouldn't did that, probably because my brain, my head, I was like closed. So that's why, and that part, that is something that I really give respect to her from that part, because she
Not like
did
a
good.
fight, like a pull and push, you know, 1 minute it was like, we could do this, and the next minute it's like you love someone, but it just felt that it wasn't working out, you know.
So I think on that part, you know, she picked me up. She picked me up.
That slap of reality kind of woke you.
It's about to go down.
Yeah,
It's
woke you
about
up.
to go down.
It's like you looked at her and you like, there ain't no way I can lose her. Like,
And don't get me wrong, even still, my son was more attached to her than me, but it's like sometimes when you take just in the same way and you understand, somebody who did not pass through that won't understand, but just in the same way how you going through, because, and I say you going through because that's something that never gonna die. It will always be there. So in the same way, and you understand me how you went through it, things that you now thinking like, wow, I don't believe I was thinking like that. So you understand what I'm saying.
Because you
how
were very
I was.
depressed.
Yes.
You were very, very depressed. I remember at times you would go to the little overpath on 295 and just sit there. Like sometimes I literally thought he was going to like do something insane because he was just very, very. It was a dark. I would call it a dark season in our marriage and our lives. So navigating all that was hard.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yes. So let's shift gears a little bit. You know, so let's talk a little bit about like how do we keep this fire alive, because I'm sure that there are couples out there that they're also struggling, maybe not to the degree with grief, but they're still struggling, you know. And what would you say that keeps your marriage like alive? Like what has been helpful, because 30 years is a long, long time, right? Like for us, like I've known him longer. I've been with him longer than I've been by myself. That's scary. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So like what keeps your marriage alive today?
Well, it's funny. I would say prior to, you know, our daughter going away to school and things like that, really I think because we focused so much on her.
Right.
Both of us focused so much on her. And then after she went away, it was like, ooh, we have to get to know each other. Like, who is this person that's living in our house? Like, it was just the both of us. We have to.
Wow.
So I think that kind of, you know.
That's so important that you say that, Kim, because one of the biggest things that even for myself, when I have couples and we talk about therapy, that's a big, big part of marriage, because couples are so focused on the kid itself that they lose touch with each other. And then now they're trying to rekindle, you know, that flame. And sometimes it's hard, right? Because it's kind of like you wake up and you're like, who are you, right? Where's the butterflies and the love and stuff that, you know, we had? So, yeah, so speak a little bit about that as far as like how that is today, like as far as like rekindling and having to, you know, get to know Milton again when your daughter went away.
I don't know. I guess maybe we're different. Because like he said, like we never really argue or anything like that, and he still makes me laugh, and well, I don't make him laugh. But.
She don't make you laugh. What?
Have I ever said that? That you don't make me laugh? Okay, you make me cry.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
that's
Honestly, I think that, and we actually been talking about this a lot lately. When we came to to Fountain.
Yeah.
And we got to meet a lot of couples.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was one of the things that we loved about the church.
Right.
It was husband and wife and family there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a lot of family. And even meeting you guys and other couples, and we started really hanging out more,
Mm-hmm.
not just with the men.
So community is what you're saying.
Right. We was hanging with couples.
So would you say that that's important as far as like, as a couple, like,
Oh,
let's say
absolutely.
like young couples that are coming up or they're thinking about
Absolutely.
marriages.
Absolutely.
So you think it's important?
I think it's very important, and I kind of wish we would have been in that type of environment
Mm-hmm.
earlier in our marriage.
Okay.
Is because it challenges us
Mm-hmm.
to get to know each other and be with each other. It's kind of like when last year when we went on the canoe,
Okay.
right? You kind of set us up, right?
Yeah. So for those that don't know, we had a really nice event. It was for couples. It was called Tides of Connection, and we had the different couples go out on the water and in a canoe, and they had activities that they needed to do.
Mhm.
So you guys joined us on that
Yes.
adventure. It was a pretty
Yes.
nice adventure. So
Right,
talk
we're
about
thinking
that.
we're just going on a canoe.
Okay.
You know?
Well, you were on the canoe.
Well, we didn't really realize the
Yes.
importance of us working together.
Ooh, yes. So talk
Right.
about that.
And it was so important for us to work together. She's the type of person that she knows everything.
Okay. She's smart. She's a very smart woman. That's why you picked her.
And it's very much why I picked her,
Okay, there
right?
you go.
She knows everything.
Yeah.
So she hasn't, before the question is asked, she has an answer.
Okay. So she's very smart.
Right. And, you know, forward thinking.
Yes. Okay.
Right. But so it forced us to work together. And once I
Okay.
thought about it, I'm like, oh my, Sasha done me right. Right?
Sasha set you up.
Right. We need to really work together.
Because
And
you were going one way and she was going the other way.
Right. And so it was a good challenge
Yeah, okay.
for us. And it really showed me, look back on it. Anytime I really think about where are we at, are we in a problem situation now or
Yeah.
whatever, it's like, what drew me to her?
Wow.
Right? What drew me to her?
So you have to, so what it sounds like you're saying is that when you are going through those conflicts and those moments of conflict, it's important to go back
Yes.
to the purpose of what actually brought you guys together.
Absolutely.
That's what, you know,
Yes.
pretty much what you're saying, right?
Yes.
I mean, do you want to add anything else to that, Puppy?
I mean, I will say that on that part, you know, when I'm going to use the same thing with the community,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was learning too. I was learning too because you don't stop learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should all
So
be
you
should,
sharing.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was learning that I was helping her.
Why do you say you? What about me helping you? When we were on the.
Yeah, but I mean, you was the one who was talking. So since
Well,
you
that's
was
true.
talking,
That's
I
true.
was kind of holding everything, trying to
Yeah.
make sure that,
Yeah,
especially trying to
until he flipped over.
trying to make a
okay.
little show there,
Yeah.
just flipping
For those
around.
listening, yes. For those listening, yes, it was a very adventurous.
And you just stood there and looked at it. Oh.
I was shocked. I was like, "What is happening right now? Like, did he just fall and flip over this canoe in the water?"
And it was Kim's
Yes.
fault.
Because Kim went to hold on the canoe.
He went to grab
Yes.
our canoe because Kim was screaming. And
Yeah, she wanted
he
to hold on
lost
to the canoe.
it.
That was absolutely funny.
I was just making a play so everybody could laugh about
Yeah,
it.
right.
You did your competition
And
tremendously.
the thing, I was worried more about the phone.
Yeah,
My
you
phone.
did.
Yeah.
But you were a great helper.
But,
I definitely
mean,
have to say.
Going
yes.
serious on that part, I mean, it showed that even still she's the one who's doing that. But I was helping her.
Yeah.
So it's like her mind is 100% in what she's doing because I'm helping her doing something. She don't have to worry about, okay, where's my computer, where's my laptop, where's this? Because I was the one who was helping her with that. So even, believe it or not, that is something us as men, when we do little things like that,
Yeah.
are things that touch them.
Yes.
You know, make them feel something. So I feel that that is something good when you work together.
And I think, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
one of the things that I see with you guys, and even when we came, when you got this building,
Yeah.
your building, and y'all had the open house and
Yeah.
everything, and we came, and we really didn't know y'all that well
Yeah.
then, right? And you constantly said, you know, was always saying, I want to thank my husband
Yeah.
because he made this possible,
Yes.
you know, and that touched me. You know, I was like, wow, how she really, you know, and it wasn't just words,
Yeah.
right? And then seeing how he was, I think he's all over the place anyway, all the time. But you know how he was
Yeah, he's a
constantly
busybody.
making sure everything was
Yes.
right.
Just like
in
before
order.
we started this
Before we
podcast,
started,
right?
yeah.
He was making sure. And that's just who he is. And that's one of the things that I love about him because he helps me like with all the background stuff, right? So even though I do a lot of the upfront stuff, he helps me in that sense. So, you know, I attribute 90-something% to him in terms of like helping out in all these different things. Cause I could just be like, Poppy, you know what? I was thinking about this. Okay, let's do it. How do you want to do it? So it's always about like, he's very, very supportive in that way. And that's one thing that I'm really, really grateful for, you know, because I can count on him, you know, with that. So.
I got something on this part, and I'm gonna use this beautiful, you know, right here. You see, she said 90%, but the 10% is actually the powerful one, because that's the one that's going to speak. Because I can do everything, but at the end, she's the one who got to speak. So that's why I use this here. Yes, it's look like a big one and carry it, but if you look at this one right here that is small, it's actually look like it's carrying a big weight. So that's why I use that, because it's one heart.
Right.
And when you basically work together, and if we see they work hard. So that's why, to me, I feel that I want to make sure everything is fixed. Yes, it's 90%, it's got to be fixed here, this got to be there, I want this to look nice. But when she talks, that's the power. That's what God wants her to do, so a lot of couples can hear and feel what is to be married. What are the things that they have to do and to help them.
Yeah.
Less pressure
Wow.
on her,
Yes.
you know, to
That's right.
really execute. It's kind of like, I would think somewhat sometimes how a pastor and his wife, or, you know, or vice versa, you know, you may not be the one on the pulpit and always speaking, but even with your prayers, you know what I mean? And then the things you do behind the scene that make life easier for whoever's in the forefront. You know what I mean? Is, you know, it's just as important.
Yes.
You know, because it's to hear a pastor say, or someone in the forefront would not just say I or me, but we. It was like we. Why we? She's or he's not up in the pulpit. No, we. Because,
And I think in all aspect, right, that it should be like that, right? Because I think that even, let's say, like our younger couples too, being able to understand that this is a we thing, right? And I think when couples, they do get married and they do come together, it's important for them to understand that it's not just now, it's not just like a you thing or a his thing, it's like, it's a we thing, right? And I truly believe that we each have our own purpose and we each have our own calling, but I think at the same time, it's so important for us to remember that we also have a purpose together, right? And it's not a competition or anything, but it's more of us, you know, coming together. So I want, you know, as we get ready to, you know, wrap up, you know, what is something that you wish someone would have, you know, maybe told you, you know, about marriage?
I'll start, that's fine. I kind of think, I wish they would have emphasized more on communication skills,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
I'm learning that communication skills is not something that just comes natural.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You
it's
have
things
to work
that
on
we
it.
have to work on.
Yes,
And then we don't
absolutely.
even realize sometimes how we even communicate,
Right.
you know? And so if someone would have, and that maybe should be part of the counseling,
Absolutely.
you know,
The pre-marriage.
Pre-marital counseling
Yes.
thing is really on not just the importance of communicating,
But the tools.
but the tools
Yes.
to
be able to communicate.
Right.
Yes,
Because
that's so true.
she's very quiet
Mm-hmm.
at times.
Kim, are you quiet?
Right. She likes to write.
So she does communicate, but via writing.
I don't like to write. She'll say something, okay, how we gonna fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she's like, I don't want you to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know that.
Listen.
I just want you to listen. And I have to learn that.
Yes.
You know, like she wrote me a note one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, why you?
I can talk to you right here, right? Yeah.
I'm the type of person, I get a letter or a note, I read the beginning and the end. So,
Not the middle.
what's the problem? How are we gonna fix it?
Yes.
So now she'll say, did you, you know,
Did you read every single sentence of the letter?
Did you read everything,
Did you read it?
Milton? I'm like, you know your husband. You know what I mean? And she was like, okay,
I
here's.
need you to go back.
Yes.
We're gonna try this one more time.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, I think, really
communication
aspect
Okay.
of it. Yes.
And you know what? One of the things that also that I teach couples also is that there's 3 levels of communication. So you guys are gonna get a quick tip, okay? So there's 3 levels, right? Because especially men, you guys were created pretty much to just be fixers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fix it. What's the problem? You know, but maybe I just want you to listen to me. Maybe I don't want you to fix it, right? So level number 1, you know, someone comes, you know, with a problem, and your goal is to just ask, okay, you listen to number 1, which is you're just listening. That's all you're doing. Number 2 is you're listening and now you're providing advice, right? Number 3, now you're gonna do all the first 2. And the last piece of that is that now you're going to help them execute a plan, right? It sounds like you're trying to jump to number 3, right? So how can you fix that? It's pretty much asking your wife, right? Okay, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to, are we on level 1? Are we on level 2? Are we on level 3?
Right.
Because now they know, right? Because I used to get so frustrated. I used to be like, Papi, you're not listening to me. I need you to listen. He said, I am listening, but we need to do this, right? Very practical. Maybe I just needed him to sit there with me for a second and just look at me, even if I'm crying, and that's it. Even though he may have the answer, it's okay. I don't want you to give me the answer. All I need you to do in this moment is to just sit with me and hold that space for me. And that was very helpful. So even today, he'll ask me, you know, if we'll have a conversation or something. Just last week we had a situation and he's like, so do you want me to listen? Do you want me to, you know, you just want me to just, you know, listen here? Do you want me to give you some advice? Or do you want me to help you fix it with all that? You know, and I was like, I just want you to listen. That's it. Nothing
And you don't
else.
have a problem?
No, because I don't want to hear him tell me how to fix it. I know how to fix it, but I don't want to because at that moment, I just need to vent. See, females, we're very different. We're very, very different, okay? We just need to just, like, if you call your girlfriend and you tell them something like that, they'll be like, girl, let me just tell you this. What about this? What about, and can you believe, and we'll just go on like for a whole hour. You guys just want to come and fix it. We know that it needs to be fixed. We understand that, but at that moment, I just need you to hold this emotional space for me and you being okay with that. And men have a hard time connecting with their emotions. So I would definitely, you know, whoever's listening to this podcast, you know, one thing that I have to say is that especially for the men out there, it's so important for you to be able to hold that space and be able to ask the question because that takes vulnerability, right? Because I get it. You know, you guys were created to fix the garden and all that stuff from the beginning, but all we need you to do is just sit and hold that emotional space. So
and if we ask you to fix it,
there you go.
then fix it.
Yep. Like what part of that did it say I need you to fix it? No, right?
Because it's a waste of time with all that. You know, let's just go from A to Z. We don't need the, you know, we don't need the in between.
But we need
just
the
want to
fluff,
fix
though.
it.
We need the fluff, right? We need to know that you're understanding me. That, you know, like for example, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, let's just say you buy a dress, right? And you may ask like your husband, like, oh, how does it look? Oh, it looks good, you know. And you're like, you're waiting and waiting, and you're waiting, and you're like, mm-hmm. No, yeah, it looks nice. Like, what are you gonna wear it with? Like, that's it. So, but if I call my sister, she's gonna be like, oh, what color is the dress? Okay, send me a picture of it. And it's like, what are you gonna wear it with? Like, where are you going? And how does it fit? Okay, send a picture, turn around. Like, so we're going into details, right? And then he's like, okay. Oh, yeah, it looks nice. So I get it. Like, yes, you guys don't have time to waste, okay? We don't have time to waste either. However, for us, it's just so important. I think emotional space, if there's anything that anyone walks away with today, I think it's the emotional space. Like, we need that emotional space. And I want to go back to that question that I had asked, like, what is one thing that, you know, I wish that I was told? I wish I was told that, you know, we each come with our own individual story to the relationship, right? And for me, I came with a lot of trauma. And trauma was part of our relationship, even before our son passed away. So that trauma involved with also his background, that was all mixed in together. And, you know, I wrote a blog before that said, I'm in a threesome, and I didn't know about it. I didn't know. And basically, because that was part of the relationship, because trauma kept popping up, right? So every time he would do something, I would get triggered, because I just thought that I was going to get married and he was going to pick me up and take me on a white horse. Yeah. And we were going to be like Cinderella, live happily ever after, but I'm still waiting because it didn't happen, okay? However, when you think about trauma comes into the relationship, and many of us do not know how to handle it. And if we're not equipped, like how you were saying from the beginning, that's going to be very difficult. So I do believe that even couples that are thinking about getting married today, you know, when they do go maybe and see a pre-marriage counselor, that should be something that should be talked about in terms of your history, because your history is your identity, and that's coming into that space, and you're going to be living with that. You know, so we really didn't, number one, we were so young, and number two, we were coming with all this baggage, and it's kind of like you pour it on the table, and now you're like, okay, so let's just fix it. So guys, this was so amazing. I'm so happy that you guys, you know, were here. I do want to ask you one last thing. What is one thing that you want couples, you know, to walk away with?
Love your wife today more than yesterday. Yesterday passed. Tomorrow, we don't know if we're gonna make it, but today we have to live and enjoy what we've passed. Just like right now, you guys going through here right now, this podcast, and my wife, we are here together. So we have to enjoy, we have to go through what we're going now. So love your wife today more than yesterday.
Amen.
That's good.
Amen.
All right.
I could say, you know, to young couples or people getting married, or young couples or even older couples, you're not the only one going through what your
so
situation that you are in,
Yes.
and that you can come out of it, you know. And it just reflects back on, you know, really trusting God, you know, with all your heart. And it tells us, lean not to your own understanding, but in all your ways. Not some of the things that we think we can handle or we can't handle, but in all our ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path.
That's good. That's really good.
I feel I gotta tell another one.
Okay. All right. We got another one. Okay.
They should go to a marriage ministry in church, like what you guys do, and they should come in and talk to you guys or talk to wherever the church they go to. They should go to a marriage ministry and go to a pre-marriage, and at least like that they'll ask questions. They'll let them know what is marriage. It's better to somebody tell you, okay, this is a hole, be careful here, than you going into the hole. So it's better to learn from somebody than you live.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right, Miss Kim, you're it.
Just to kind of follow up with what both of them just said, put God first, always keep God first, and know that, you know, it's not, you're not always right, he's not always right, and know each other's hearts, and always, you know, even if you have to walk away for a couple of minutes and just, you know, reflect or come back together, and as long as you put God first, and He's gonna always work things out for your good, because that's what His word says. All things work together for our good. Not just the good things, not just the bad things, but all things work together for our good. To them that love the Lord, of course, and all things to His purpose.
Yeah. I think for me, what I could say is there's so many different things that I would want to say, but to wrap it up, I think I would want to say that it's just so important, kind of like to piggyback what you were saying as far as like to be able to have that community. But I think that younger couples should be able to find maybe mentor couples to be able to help them, walk through that journey of marriage. Because one of the things that I've heard in a lot of the marriage conferences that I've done is that couples do not have, that mentor couple that they can go to, that they can actually seek advice, because we always think that we're the only ones that are going through what we're going through. And that is such a lie from the enemy, because we go through, like if we sit down together and we start talking about stuff, we'll end up laughing because we'll be like, oh man, I go through that too, right? And we start to see all the similarities. So it's so important to find a mentor that is older, a couple that has been married for 10 plus years, that they can actually guide you through the seasons of life. Because guess what? Even though we say for better or for worse, it's so important for us to believe, because during that marriage vow, we don't remember we're so excited and everything else. However, when those hard and dark moments come, we have to be able to, number one, of course, rely on God, and then number two, be able to find that support. So that is it for us, guys. Thank you again so much for being part of this great
Thank you for having us. Thank you
Absolutely.
For having us.
I hope you guys will come back for another one.
You ain't gonna invite us.
I want to invite you guys. I think
It was too boring.
no, I think we will. But again, this is Zachyra Rodriguez with Soul Conversations with Z, and we look forward for you guys joining us in the next one. Have a good one.